just weren't aligned for that.
No.
That one. Bobby was
an accident. But Dad!
Oh! What a messed up family.
Uncle Hank!
So Greg, though, he attributes his... nobody's taking responsibility for themselves in this, because Greg attributes his poor-looking photos to the cheap camera he already owns. He doesn't own
to
up
his
to
skill.
It. Yeah. It's like, you just aren't good. And his friends let him know that he's just not good. Shari especially.
And yet it doesn't register at all.
No, he's like, I got this expensive camera that I'm going to steal, and now I'll take great photos. I'm going to take pictures of jungles.
I'm gonna take this big picture, and I'm gonna... Yep.
Yeah, be famous.
Yep. Oh, God, yeah.
So
famous.
This is how you do it. He takes a picture of Michael standing at the top of the stairs, and only when the photo prints is when he realizes...
They took a picture of Prince?
Moving on.
Hi.
Very soon after Nick, the railing gives out. Michael falls to his death.
Oh, man, that's so good. 'Cause he was the first one I was betting would go.
Yeah. It's a slow death. Because so far his ankle is just twisted, but it'll come. The death will come probably 70 years from that fall. Just as they hear noise upstairs, and they all get out of there, run out the back of the place, as Spidey watches from the window. This is, I guess the rumors are true. Spidey does live here.
Yeah, because Spidey, what do we know about Spidey so far?
He keeps to himself. He's probably squatting in this abandoned place. He dresses all in black, though... in this basement where he has a cot and some Hungry Man meals.
Hungry Man.
He also has a lot of colorful garb, like a tickle trunk full of
tickle trunk.
Just of like dress up stuff. Like one of the Michael was wearing a boa, wasn't he? Like around his neck, and he was doing this sophisticated pose and playing dress up.
I don't remember that, but I'm sure it happened.
Yeah. Let's imagine it did. But I think he's got some fancy dress-up clothes. The black clothes are just for his image, but when he goes home, he's the person he wants to be.
Yeah. You go, Spidey.
Don't let those kids get you down.
Yeah, you do you.
Yeah. Now they go to Mike's house.
Ugh, Mike.
They look at the photo, which shows Michael in midair.
Falling
from the stairs. Now, if you recall, Nick, Greg took that photo before this happened.
Yes, I do remember that quite vividly.
Yeah. But everyone just decides that Greg is remembering it wrong.
Yeah, they're all idiots.
This was the hardest. Like, in a lot of Goosebumps stories, there's a lot of just turning the other cheek, just looking away, deciding this didn't happen. But this seems like the most evident, like the one that you can't, because there's literally photographic evidence.
Yeah.
And if you can't remember...
when you took
and
it happened like 5 minutes ago, guys.
Yeah, I don't remember being a kid and letting something like that go so easily.
No, because we're not idiots.
But they decide you just remembered wrong.
Yeah.
Great action shot. Even though Polaroids in that dim lighting probably wouldn't get a very good action shot.
It probably just looked like something from A Hard Day's Night.
Yeah.
A Hard Day's Night was a film from 1964 starring the Beatles, John, Paul, George, and Ringo. It was their first feature film. Still single, ladies.
All the kids go home. It's supper time. Greg's a little late for dinner.
Fucking Greg.
He sees that his Big Papa finally bought a brand new...
Big Papa Smurf.
Bought a brand new 1992 navy blue Taurus station wagon. He's so excited, Nick. Snaps a picture of this thing.
I have a question.
Yeah, what about it?
Did Ford put in for product placement in this book?
It's really evident when they do and don't, you know? Like Dairy Queen doesn't want any involvement.
Oh, they want none of this.
Nintendo, they're all over it.
Oh, yeah.
And now X-Force, too. He's dipping his feet in a bunch of different pools, this Stein fellow. Blue Taurus station wagon, though. Seems like I'd be excited as a kid. Just the smell of a new car.
Oh, yeah, no, that, yeah.
Yeah, so he takes a picture of it.
As one does.
It's totaled.
Whoa!
Car's destroyed.
Hang on. It's totaled?
Yeah. Maybe...
But he took a picture and it was fine. It's fine right there.
Maybe his finger slipped.
Wait, that doesn't
Is that how it works?
No, that's not how that works, Matthew.
Is it out of focus, then?
No, because if it's out of focus, it'll just be blurry, and it won't look like completely different.
Okay. So, well, Greg does the only logical thing at this point. He hides the camera and the photo.
In the where did he hide it?
He has a secret compartment in his bed.
Yeah.
Or, like, behind his bed.
Now, here's my question.
What else is back there?
How many Playboys are back there?
Yeah, countless amounts. He probably had to throw some out to make room for the camera.
He's probably had, like, a complete archive.
Yeah.
I don't understand this article by Woody Allen. He just walks around the house with like a house coat and a pipe that blows bubbles.
The mom and like the parents are both fully aware of this hidden compartment. I mean, they bought the bed for him.
Yep.
Now, Greg's dad. This is a part that puts Greg's morals into question. Greg's dad wants to go for a drive with the family after dinner.
Yes, this bothered me a lot.
Greg
It's
tries.
like something out of Fire Walk with Me.
I haven't seen it yet, but
Okay,
I'm
well.
on my way. Getting there.
Yeah.
Greg tries coming up with excuses to get out of going on this car ride. Just him. Just looks for excuses to get him out of it. He's cool with the rest of his family dying in this horrific car accident.
Yes. This is why he's a terrible person.
Yeah. Well, he's got a stomachache.
Oh, whoop-de-doo.
You just show them the picture.
Yeah.
Like, they won't think you're crazy if you have proof. Like, what, you gotta, like, just show them the picture. Don't just say you took a picture. What, they're gonna ask you where you got the camera. It's gonna be this big thing. I think they're gonna be more concerned about this new
picture
car
of, yeah.
totaled. And they probably won't want to go for a ride right away in it.
No.
But he's got to go for the ride because he has lame excuses.
But I have a question.
Yeah, we'll go
Are
for it.
there any more potatoes?
Best chapter break, by far. Are you going to find out if there's more potatoes? Or are you flipping through the book?
We don't find out.
No.
I want to know if there are more potatoes, Matthew.
Okay, well, listen, they just bought a brand new
Were they
car.
mashed? Were they boiled? Were they cut up and baked? Were they fried? Like, what kind of potatoes?
You know, R.L. Stine is usually pretty good at the description, but this time he fell flat.
Well, oh, no, I don't think he did, and we'll get to that later on.
Okay, well, I imagine there were more potatoes because they just bought a brand new car.
So they're probably, like, rolling in potato money.
They got potatoes for days, Nick.
Yeah.
Probably a 10-pound bag.
Oh, my God.
He's good. They're fine. They go for this ride. They're fine. A bit of a scare because Mr. Banks is a speed demon. He's going 70.
There goes Mr. Banks. He's a demon on wheels.
He's going 70 in a 55 zone.
Yeah, and I have a note here. When they get to 88 miles per hour, they're going to see some serious shit.
I got it.
It's from Gremlins, you guys.
It's from Gremlins. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Later, Greg wants to test out the camera. He's like, oh, I guess the camera isn't broken. So he wants to test the camera out, but not on himself, Nick, on his older brother Terry, who has been nothing but a delight so far.
Yeah, he's not so bad.
Yeah, and he works at Dairy Free. Takes his job seriously.
Wait. Where are we?
We're at the part where Greg takes a picture of Terry sitting in his room.
Okay, no, he's joking. He's like, I'll probably break your camera because I'm so hideous. And so my note was just like, why do all these fucking kids think they're Bob fucking Hope? Bob Hope was a comedian and film star from the 20th century.
Notoriously hideous?
No, he's just like, self-deprecate, like, he's just like, I'm Bob Hope, like one-liners after the, like Don Rickles, and like,
oh yeah,
or just like one after the other, and it's like, I'll probably break your camera, hey, like, oh my God.
That's why you're my cool older brother. Now let me jeopardize your well-being by taking your photograph. So he takes Terry's picture. Develops.
Every time I see your face, it reminds me of... Photographed by Ringo Starr.
He looks at the photograph. Look at this photograph! You might know that as a little band called Nickelback.
No, okay, no, I don't know it.
Okay, enough of this. He looks at the photo, and it is Terry outside, not in his room, outside with a terrified face, a terrified expression.
But he's in the room.
Yeah, not in the picture, Nick. Grasp it a little tighter.
Could these be double exposures, Matthew?
No.
Okay.
No. And Greg decides this camera's broken.
Yeah.
And baby, a broken camera ain't worth his time thinking about. So he locks it away. A few days later, Greg and Shari. This is the big moment where they go to watch Bird's Little League game.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So I know you got stuff to say about
this.
this. Now we're set up for this. So what do you want to say about this? Because
okay, I'm not talking about plot right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a step back.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna talk about how R.L. Stine thinks he's Cormac McCarthy.
Okay.
So at the bottom of page 49, and I quote, "The baseball game got underway. The Dolphins were the visiting team. The other team, the Cardinals, jogged out to take their positions on the field. A kid in the bleachers dropped his soda can. It hit the ground and spilled, and the kid started to cry. An old station wagon filled with teenagers cruised by, its radio blaring, its horn honking." Like, he's painting this image of, like, this small town that, like, we don't need this.
I kind of like it.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, though.
It's very depressing, though.
It is, and it kind of reminds me of the baseball game in Interstellar.
Okay.
You know, right before the dust storm comes, and they're all like, "Oh man, Earth is fucked."
Okay.
But here's the thing: the kid that drops his soda,
Yeah.
I want to follow his story. I want to know why he's so upset.
Yeah.
It feels like that could be a much more interesting Goosebumps book, where it's like, you know, if he spills soda, then, like, you know, his family gets murdered or something.
Oh, that's a whole different thing. It's like the magic soda can.
Yeah.
Spill it. It's the soda of life.
Yeah, and I think
Everything's haunted in this universe.
And then later on, he's just painting a picture. Here's page 51. The first dolphin batter popped up to the second baseman. The second batter struck out on 3 straight swings. The dozen or so spectators showed encouragement to their team, even though somewhere in the chapter they're like, they were bored and already left. And it's like, these are their parents, right?
Yeah.
Like, how much do you hate your children?
It's a Little League game, and there are 9 innings.
But wait, there's more.
Okay.
So, the little kid who had dropped his soda continued to cry.
He's still a part of this?
Yeah. 3 kids rode by on bikes, waving to friends on the teams, but not stopping to watch. It's like, why is this here?
I like this picture he's painting.
It's a good picture, no pun intended. But like, it just seems so bizarre and out of place. And I think it's because it's in the third person.
Yeah.
Whereas if it were the first person narration, he'd just be like, some kids were. It sounds better in the character's voice.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's the way he's. Yeah, you have more freedom though this way.
Yeah,
to talk about anything.
It's just the juxtaposition of, like, you know, how we're dealing with, like, these 12-year-old children, and then, you know, he's trying to tell us the story of, like, you know, this town that never got out of the Depression, apparently.
No one's really friends with each other.
No, everyone hates each other, and like, you know, they just let a homeless person squat in this house.
He used to be a scientist. What kind of a town lets one of their smartest just wither away in a dilapidated home?
All of them. You saw Back to the Future.
Yeah.
He lived in a Burger King.
I was shocked by the maliciousness of Shari and Greg towards Bird. Michael didn't even show up. Michael just Yeah, they
just got in the stand and they're just like, "Hey, fuck you, Bird."
Basically, like, Shari only wanted Greg to show up so Greg could bring the camera. She only wanted the camera so she could take photos of Bird because he looks like an ostrich at home plate. And Greg also thinks that Bird looks ridiculous. They're only there to heckle him.
Yeah.
And so they argue.
I mean, I'm an asshole and I wouldn't do that to my friends.
But, like, Bird deserves it, too. That's the thing.
I know.
Everybody
like,
deserves what they get.
Yeah, well, yeah.
They argue about who gets to take the picture. She calls him out on his lousy photography skills, and Greg threatens to punch her in the mouth and take a picture of it.
Wait, I missed that? What page is that?
Jesus. Yeah, she's like, basically just a normal 12-year-old joke about how he's bad at taking pictures. And he's like, "Oh, what if I give you a knuckle sandwich and I'll take a picture of that?"
Okay,
but
hang on.
Basically, punching this 12-year-old girl in the mouth and then taking a Polaroid of it.
Oh my god!
This is the start of some very dark times for Greg. So they argue pointlessly about who gets to take the picture. Greg ends up taking it. Develops its Bird sprawled out on the ground, open mouth, neck twisted in pain. Nick.
Good.
Yeah, eyes
good
wide